All right, we're back again, brother. It's Let's Talk the Better Black Life podcast. Brother Clarence, the coach, brother Jarvis, um, and we're trying to figure out some things. We're trying to help the community figure out some things. We got a good one for you today. Don't go away. We'll be right back. All right, my brother. How you be, man?
Everything is everything.
Everything's everything. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Today's question is what is the problem with the woman having a high body count? What's the problem with that, man? I mean, why do men make such an issue out of this situation? And is it ever going to improve with the songs like
Ass pussy, I'm talking.
Stuff like that going on out there? Is it gonna ever change?
That was the question.
Yeah, that's the question. The first question is, what's wrong with a woman having a high body count? Why is that such an issue with most men? Do you think? What is your impression on that?
No man that I know of wants to be, ever really associated with a woman. A hoe, put it like that. Nobody wants to be really associated with a hoe.
Why not?
Well, I put it. Well, let me back up. If it's late at night and you got some liquor in you and ain't nobody looking, it's not that big of a deal. As long as ain't nobody looking, But
No, I'm talking about getting into a relationship with somebody like this.
No, nobody wants to be, because you walk into a room and has he been with my girl? Wait a minute, has he been with my girl? Has he been with my girl? The ghetto boys were right when they say your mind can play tricks on you. The mind is the most powerful muscle on the body. So something like that, you don't really want to be associated like that, because the mind is not going to shut up, and you don't want to have that kind of question or that kind of question mark on your lady.
Why not?
I mean, if you're going to her for comfort, there ain't no comfort there. How is there comfort there?
I'm asking you.
Ain't no,
You explain it to me.
I can't
What's the
trust you.
problem?
I mean, you been with him, you've been with him, you've been with him.
Here, let me say why.
How many people want to drive a raggedy car? Well, you want a new car or you want a raggedy car?
Wait a minute, brother Jarvis. Let me explain why I'm saying that. The music of today is basically gives women the understanding that a high body count is no big deal. It's not going to be a big deal, and it's not going to come into question later on in the game. And I'm trying to find out, okay, if you saying it is, then why is it?
But I don't know who's told them or who told them. I don't know too many women that go around bragging about how many men they taking down. I don't know any women like that.
No. It's not well, see, they're not going to say it. You're going to see it. You know what I mean? It's like when you get your car hit, your car's been in an accident, or it's got a lot of miles on it, and you take it to not the dealer, but some off-brand dude on the street, and they put a whole bunch of different kind of parts in it. And then it still don't never run the way you want it to run. You say, fine, F it, I'm just going to take it to the dealer. I'm going to just pay because I like this car. I want to keep it, and I want it to be right. So let me just take it to the dealer. And once a dealer see all them, he lift that hood up and he see all them parts that ain't his, he ain't going to even touch it. He said, get the thing out of here. I'm not even going to touch it.
What it's going to cost.
Yeah, but I'm saying but he's going to say, you might as well buy a new car for what we going to have to put all of this stuff out of here, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is they're going to be like, this don't make no sense. And so I'm saying, but the music like the song we just listened to, for y'all that don't know, me and Brother Jarvis just listened to the song WAP, the street version, the official audio of WAP from Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, which basically is their ode to Anthem, however you want to put it, Anthem to
I like the song myself, though. I ain't gonna lie.
A sexual. I really don't have no problem with the song itself, but the fact that there's no qualifiers before you got to listen to it, like it should be a qualifier. Like, hey, you know what? You have to be a certain age and have a certain situation going on. You know what I mean? Like a young girl should be able to know, okay, this is something I should be only exclusively doing with somebody who I'm in an exclusive situation with, as opposed to this is how I should be living, like a kind of like a gunslinger, in my opinion.
Right.
But we still ain't got to the bottom of why you don't want your woman to be this. Why you don't want your woman to have this high body count. We can get to the song and everything later, but what is the problem with that?
Nobody does. You want to drive a raggedy car? You want to drive a new car?
But how do you know it's raggedy? Because sometimes some of these women with high body counts, man, they can slap themselves together and just like Earl Shy, they go through Earl Shy, look like a brand new car or look like a not as used car, right? And you will never know. No woman is going to come out and say, oh, yeah, I got all these bodies behind me. They're never going to. The average woman's not going to say that.
Yeah.
She might make that mistake once or twice, and then she lose a lot, and then she say, this is not going to work, me telling the truth.
But they're not going to tell the truth no how, but okay.
Right. But I'm saying, as far as the body counts, I noticed that men are very leery about that, and that is something that's troubling to men. But if you're gonna marry her, that's what I'm saying. You in a long-term relationship with somebody. Let's take Russell Wilson and Sierra. Are you familiar with that situation? No, better yet, let's take a better one. Let's take Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
No, that's a good one.
That's a better situation. Okay, so her Kim Kardashian's sex life was not only between her and her partners, but a lot of it was made public, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think was in Kanye West's mind when he said, I'm going to put all that to the side and I'm going to marry this woman?
Crazy.
If what you say is true, nobody wants that person, then why did he do that?
Kanye crazy.
Thus giving other women that follow that same philosophy of free love and high, lot of sex with different.
Not a good deal for her.
Huh?
Not a good deal for a sister. Not a good deal for a woman.
Well,
a man can do it, but a woman, you really ain't supposed to do that. That's not a good deal for her.
Explain to me why. Give me the mathematics of why this is not a good situation. If
No,
men and women are
man.
equal, brother, that's what they
No, men and
said.
women. Don't listen to that. Who told you that? Don't let the devil told you that. Don't listen to that.
They said a woman can do anything that a man can do.
No,
Right?
she can't. No, she can't.
Well, then you have to come with the mathematics and explain why a woman can't do it. Why?
But even if she's offended by, let's say a silly woman. So let's say somebody who's silly.
Yeah.
Some silly woman come along and you really offended on the fact that I say or somebody says a woman can't do everything a man does. Well, just reverse it. Can a man do everything a woman do? Hell no.
No.
Hell no. He shouldn't even want to. Women are stupid. Why'd you even think like that? I can't have no baby.
Right.
So, that ain't saying nothing. Why are you offended by, you can't do everything a man does? That's stupid.
I think in their mind, man, I think they feel like, the ones of them that feel this way, I think that they feel like having babies is a plus. It's like I can do what you do plus have a baby. So I'm actually a better, suited to do things because I can do more things than you.
Come on, man. Biologically, you're not stronger. You're not built to take as much punishment as I am. We both have our strength.
That's true.
We both have our strength, but you just have to know what yours is and what mine is.
It's true.
The male and the female are different. Right. Normally in nature, the male is always bigger than the female.
Of course.
There are exceptions.
Right.
Normally, but there are some exceptions.
Okay.
Where the female is bigger than the male.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that. The male is the protector, or he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You have to fall in love with your role and who you are, not who I am, who you want to be. No, we're not equal. No, but that's silly. Don't even go by that.
But there is obviously a school of thought out there that is misleading women into believing that they are just as
it's a lie. It's called a lie.
or just as
it's called a lie. It's called a lie.
It's just as suited to do many of the tasks that men are suited to do.
You're not.
And
you're not. There's a reason why you can sit at home and raise children, and a man, he just don't really have the patience for that. There's a reason for that. You, by nature, have that. Can a man do it? Yeah. Can he develop that? Yes. But by nature, that's not his nature.
Right.
He ain't built to sit at home and sit up under no babies. It's not him.
Right.
It's not him. We're getting a little off subject, but, it's become like really silly that, women have found it to be, I guess, cute or more attractive if you just metro man or a man who wants to spend more time with his children. Every man wants to spend time with his children.
Right.
When you can. But it ain't natural for you to sit all up under them all the time.
Yeah.
And that ain't you. That's her. That ain't you.
Yeah.
So again, going back to this why, this high body count. No man wants to marry some woman with a quote unquote high body count.
Why? Why? Why not?
You don't want to marry her.
Why not? What's the problem? What's the problem?
If you did it then, you might do it now. I don't know. Now I'm thinking at you like, what are we getting into the argument? You storm out the house. Who you with? Where you been? You don't want to. Nobody wants to live like that. But I got her.
But maybe she say, I have, I've been and done everything, and I've done and seen everything. Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready for you.
Don't tell a man. Don't tell a man, because in his mind, he's thinking you're promiscuous. If you're promiscuous now, you'll be promiscuous forever. Because I'm promiscuous. It's my nature, though. I'm made that way. Why are you that way? You're not made like that.
But she said, "Hey, I had my fun. I was out there, and man, was I out there? I was out there. I was out there." And, I got 150,000 miles on the vagina, and I'm good now. I done seen everything. Yeah. And nothing could shock me or entertain me at this point. I'm just looking for a man.
So how am I supposed to please you? You ain't did everything.
I have seen it all.
And that's the problem.
Ain't nothing you can show me.
Exactly.
Ay, ay, ay.
So what can I
Ay,
teach you?
ay,
Ain't nothing I can teach you.
ay. Well, here's a thought that I think why a lot of men have problems with it. I think that a lot of men, like you say, what would probably just feel like, man, if you've seen and done it all, how am I going to incite you sexually? And then what's going to happen when you're not excited with me anymore? What are you going to do? Are you going to leave? What's going to happen? I can already see this problem already arising right now because you're already telling me I've been basically, I seen 1 to 100. I seen all kind of different eggplants out there. So, you're not going to show me anything different. You know what I mean? And so when you hear something like that, it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do? And then on the flip side of it, when I feel like men don't want to be confronted with the knowledge that another man is walking around with being able to say, I threw that person back, and now you got her. Good luck to you. You know what I mean? Like, that's my trash. If it's your treasure, cool for you. I mean, I don't think anybody wants that situation. You know what I mean? They want to feel like I found a daffodil in the garden. You know what I mean? I found a daffodil in the garden. And if, you didn't find that daffodil in the garden, now what? Actually, you found, weed. So I think that's where most men feel like, they don't want to deal with somebody who has, 100,000 miles on a vagina, because they feel like either this person is gonna, or another thing is they won't have the sensitivity to be able to have a fun time involved in sexual activity. They'll feel like, oh man, this person, they got, they so desensitized from all the activity that they just type A and don't want to have no sex, or sex is not an issue for them. It's not a big deal for them. And if they're doing it for you, if they do have sex with you, it's going to be like, I'm doing you this humongous favor. And, it's going to be like, every time it's going to be a huge negotiation. If you do that, I need a car. If you do this, I need a ring. If you do this, I need a dress. If you need everything is going to be, every time it happens, it's going to be a negotiation for something physical. So that's my position. But
that's the difference between a hoe and your wife. You don't want to feel like you don't want to feel like I have to negotiate to have sex. You don't want to feel like I have to give you something in order to get pleasure.
Well,
you want pleasure to be given. Because it's earned. You don't want pleasure to be. You don't really have to pay for it. We all pay for it.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to watch. I mean, I'm not calling wives whores. What I'm saying is, you're right. There's a difference, but it's not in the situation where you're gonna have to pay. It's in a situation where how you have to come up with it. A whore, you got to be right away. Bam, bam, boom. It's got to be an even exchange right away. With a wife, It may not have to be even exchange right away. It might be exchange. You might can exchange down the road. You might can negotiate time, make payments. You know what I mean? Like time.
Right.
That's what I mean. But with somebody like that, and then I'm being facetious, but actually, a wife is probably going to be more concerned about you personally than this business person that you're dealing with, because the whore is actually a business person. But
Right.
I mean, but so they're about their business. You know what I mean? It's like a doctor's only going to tell you, yeah, you got 6 months to live. Oh, I got to go to the golf range. You know what I mean? They ain't only going to care so much because they're just doing business with you. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but like I said, but okay, here's a bigger problem. Here's a bigger problem. The bigger problem is we got all these young girls, and they're all watching this. The video I showed you, that WAP video that we listened to, brother.
Right.
At the point I showed it to you, 210 million views, brother. 210 million.
I understand. I mean, I haven't even seen it, but just listening to the lyrics, you know, like I said, I've never heard the street version. I just heard the radio version. But I like, you know, I ain't gonna say anything lie. I did like it because there is a time for that kind of language, and there's a time for that kind of spirit.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
It should be a very private moment. I don't think you should display that on the video, but then again, I'm an old man. So it's easy for me to say.
Well, I'm with you on that. The only problem I got with this is there's no qualifiers where these people have to qualify yourself and show yourself to be approved so that you can actually do this, so you can actually listen to something like this. In other words, these two don't put on here like, hey, you know, they don't set the example of being in a committed relationship to do something like this. It's just like, hey, whatever dude is walking down the street, hey, come on in and let's do this. That's the appearance of how it looks. But these two are grown, so they know it's grown music, okay, but it's for you. But what do you do about the young girls, the millions of young girls that's following you worldwide, and typically they're black? What do you do? What so here's the thing. How do we move from them listening to something like this to moving into workable functioning relationships when they don't know, they're not getting trained how to have functional relationships? They're getting trained how to do stuff like this.
I think if you were to ask the two of them, more than likely, because I know what Cardi B is in a marriage, quote unquote, and I don't know about Megan Thee Stallion, but more than likely she's in a relationship. So in a private setting or private life, both of them probably are in relationships. You know, that's something that they do to make money. Sex does sell. It's what you want, so the American public wants. You want filth, and you eat filth, they give it to you.
Yeah, but
so it's not all their fault. I mean, the artists.
I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying the reality of the situation. I'm not blaming them and saying, well, it's their fault for grabbing the bag. They grabbing the bag. I can't get it. I can't knock nobody for grabbing the bag. What I'm saying is we got a bigger situation than the bag they got their hands around. We got a bigger situation with young black men are having to try to find women or females to try to get into relationships, because overall most men want to be in a relationship. Overall, yeah, there's men that are, it's a trend that's growing where men are saying, you know what, this is not working. Having long-term relationships it's not working for men. But overall, most men want a good woman on their team. And so, but the thing is, with this kind of with this kind of teaching at the forefront, how then do we solve that problem? How do we get around that issue of there ain't no young girls being taught how to be in functional relationships? So how are they going to be in functional relationships?
How?
Yeah, how? I mean, if somebody wants you to be a plumber and you never got taught how to be a plumber, but they start trying to get you to work on the pipes, you're going to mess all the pipes up because you really don't know what you're doing. If all you've been watching is how to be an electrician, and then they say I need a plumber, come right away, but you say, hey, all I know is how to do is work with electricity. They say that's okay. It's pretty much the same. It's current and it's pipes. It's pretty much the same, right? So
right,
yeah. So come on over, and you can just pretty much apply the same techniques, but it's not gonna work because that's electricity, that's water, and it's gonna be some different things going on. So my thing is, I feel the same way. I mean, you saying, hey, this is it's what men want at a certain point, but it's not what men want all the time. And these things are not, these little these little nuances are not being put out there. Yeah, they're not being put out there and explained properly. So then, what is going to happen when these young men, when women that like this are listening to, these young girls are listening to this music, and the young men are looking for women, but then most of the women that listen to this are of color, whatever that means, where I guess that means not white. They're listening to this music at a maximum as black women or black girls or black young ladies. How are they going to find a mate, a suitable mate? How are the men going to find a suitable mate in this?
That's on both ends. How she going to find a good man? How he going to find a good woman? I mean, that's on society, I guess you could say, as a whole. I mean, everybody in with, I guess you could say, wow. I mean, they don't have to show Girls Gone Wild for no reason. And that didn't start off as a black show. That's a white show.
I know.
So, they don't have them kind of shows for no reason. I mean, again, it's going to take the few that see the biggest problem. I mean, look at America. I don't know all around the world, but there's a 70% divorce rate. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I mean, but you made everything unsuitable. I mean, you got myself. I feel like I'm not even good at this. I'm not good at relationships. I don't know, and I'm old. I know what I want. I know where I'm going.
Yeah, me too, brother.
I ain't confused. I know exactly where I'm going. And I can, any man with his head on his shoulders, any man that got any kind of sense. If you've been on the planet, I've been on the planet over 50 years. I know exactly what I want. Right. I know where I'm going.
Right.
I know what I want. I know where I'm going. Right. And I can get there twice as fast.
Right.
If I had a mate, come on along with me. I can get there twice as fast.
Right.
And I can do twice as much if I had a mate that was with me.
Right.
I can do it, but I can only do so much by myself.
Right.
Now, if I got her with me and she's backing me, I can do twice as much.
Right.
And as I heard a minister teach, when you make a mistake and then you come back to retry that thing that you made a mistake on, or you lost what you already had, it don't take you 10 years to get to that point again. It'll take you 5.
Right.
5. Now, and that's with her help.
Yeah.
That's why in certain institutions, or if you even study business, you can even study business, man. Most businessmen, most of them, they like to do business with men who are married. What difference that make?
Right.
Hell of a difference that make. Because that shows another man, okay, if you can handle that, or if you can handle her, you can handle this.
Right.
Because see, things got to be good at home. And you got to be able to show, I guess, and prove that you can handle her. Because that female, especially the black female, I admit she's a very special species.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, staying on the path and on the right path, damn near impossible.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I've come to the point, I just started blaming myself. I said, it must be me. Because it can't be all of them. Then something I'm like, nah, it's really all of them.
You know what?
You know, I mean, look at the video you just showed me. I mean, well, I mean, and that's appealing to y'all. I mean, now, again, I'm old. Now, I do like it as an old man.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I should stop saying that. But, I mean, I haven't seen it. But I'm not going to sit up here and lie and be, oh, I can't believe it would show something like, come on, man. I'm a natural man. I probably would like it. But at the same time,
you like
you know, the damage that it can and does do, I can do without it. Because that's, you know, certain things should be private acts. You know, certain things should be done in private. But like I said, if you was asked the two of them, Cardi B is married, more than likely Megan Thee Stallion is in a relationship. We just doing this for the money.
I don't know, man.
More than likely she's in a relationship. Most women, I'm telling you, most sisters, they see that. I ain't gonna say, do they not promote it? Do they, they like it, but I would say most sisters, but it's so, the question is, how do we stop this? It's going to take more than just talk. You know, I mean, it always reverts back to the church, community, examples. But there are so many good examples out there. Look at Michelle and Barack Obama. That was a hell of an example.
Yeah, man.
We can tell us they coming for the world, and we can see that, and we don't see nothing.
Yeah, but they're not promoted like this other stuff is promoted, brother. I mean, it's not on an equal footing. You know what I mean? If it was on an equal footing, it would be maybe different. You know what I mean? Or maybe that kind of stuff was promoted more than this. You know, but this is man, by far gets more attention than Michelle Obama does. And, you know, and I agree, man. You know, Michelle Obama is the best thing we got out there since Felicia Rashad. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Who's listening to Michelle Obama? Really? I mean, in other words, would the numbers even be close to the group of young women listening to Michelle Obama and the group of young women listening to and who are you most likely to run into? If you're a regular cat, who are you most likely to run into? The women listening to Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, or the women that's listening to Obama? Those women are looking for the guys coming out of MIT and Stanford and places like that, right? And what do they learn in college? They learn where to be. See, a lot of these women don't meet good guys, or guys of, guys of means. They don't meet those type of guys because they don't have access. They don't know how to get access to those type of dudes. They think going to the club is a place to meet women or meet men. And you do meet men. You gonna meet men, but men go to the club because they thirsty. So you gonna meet thirsty men. And you like, why are you thirsty? Because that's where you go when you thirsty. It's like going to the water fountain and seeing a line of cats at the water fountain and thinking, nobody wants to drink. No, this is where people come to drink. So everybody's going to be thirsty when they get here. You know what I mean? So everybody's going to be thirsty when you get to the club. That is not a place to find guys that's like trying to be lawyers and doctors and stuff. Typically, them type of dudes don't go to the club. Those type of dudes are in the law library, or they're volunteering, or they're doing other stuff, right? So who's on the street for you to meet, right? There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house, right? Whatever. I mean, and what's typically the problem? Single mom, right? Typically. And so they'll see a situation like Sierra or back to Kim Kardashian, and they'll say to themselves, if it worked for her, I could do it. Kim Kardashian found a millionaire, I'll find a millionaire.
You know, I'm sick of this. I mean, that's an exception. That's not the rule.
I know, but they lived their whole life based on an exception. A lot of women live their whole life based on an exception. Like I'm like, or based on a colloquialism like this one. I'm going to spend my whole 20s having a good time. And at the end of the rainbow, when I'm 30, there'll be a sucker waiting right there at the end of the rainbow. Right? There'll be somebody will be waiting at the end of that rainbow. Because so many dudes want to go out with me. And they equate dudes wanting to sleep with them with dudes that want to actually get into a long-term relationship with them. They're confused in that situation. They feel like they're going to be able to see. They've always been able to negotiate with, because of their sexual market value. They've been able to negotiate terms of a relationship. And they may be able to negotiate it into a relationship. Now, when you come into your late 20s and early 30s and stuff, it ain't so easy to negotiate into a relation. A guy in his early 30s and maybe early 40s into a relationship. They've been through stuff. They know already. They ain't trying to just run into, just because you look good. I ain't trying to put myself in that situation. So it becomes more difficult. It's easy to get a dude in his 20s in a relationship. All you got to do is give him some, booty, and he's like, I'm getting booty on a regular? Count me in. Okay, I'll do whatever I got. I'll do whatever I got to do. You say I'm your boyfriend, I'm your boyfriend. Okay. I got to pick you up from work, I got to pick you up from work. Okay, whatever. As long as I'm getting regular. But when the dude get into his 30s, now he's like, you know what? Just because you are attractive doesn't mean you're good for me. But like I said, they live their whole life with the belief that there's gonna be a sucker at the end of that rainbow. When I get done, when I get done on the carousel, and the music slows down and stops and gets to skipping and slowing down, I jump off the carousel. There'll be a sucker with some roses and flowers and chocolates waiting right there, and he'll be 6'1" with a 6-pack and making 6 figures, and we're gonna get in his Maserati and drive away from the carousel right there, right? But that's not see what they finding out right now is that's not happening. That's why I'm tying it all into this to this kind of music and culture, because what they doing is they are like a song like this is getting into the heads of a lot of these women and further exacerbating that gap of understanding, so that now you try to talk to a sister and tell her, hey, maybe you should spend your 20s, if you were so focused on your education, you should focus on trying to be in a relationship. If you really put some energy and time into it, you might could find somebody and then move on from there and grow something from there. If you find, but see, not only you want somebody with a good wallet, you want somebody with, what you want better is somebody with good character. That is really worth more than gold. But we ain't doing it. We, like you said, we letting them. They just lying to themselves. Oh, I can keep taking these bodies. I can keep taking these men down. I can keep going down. And eventually, After I got 100 bodies or 200 bodies on me, there'll be a sucker waiting there with a 6-pack, 6'1", making 6 figures, and we'll just jump in his, Range Rover and we'll drive away right from the carousel. No, but that's not happening. So, how are we going to get them to understand that? Well, first of all, how do they? I'm trying to get them to understand how a man looks at a woman with a bunch of bodies on her. How does a man look at a woman like that?
Well, when you keep saying a bunch of bodies, if you was to ask Carly B and or Megan Thee Stallion, they're gonna say, "How did you come to that conclusion?" That we didn't say that. It's just a video. We didn't say we sleeping with him, sleeping with him, sleeping with him. We didn't say that. So why do you keep thinking that women are out there saying we got all these bodies with us? No woman is saying that. They're not going to tell you outright. Now, are they? I don't know. I mean, they don't brag about it. Do I think women are much more promiscuous?
Of course they are.
Always been.
Of course they are.
No, they've always been promiscuous.
No,
but to me, it's at a certain age and certain stages.
I'm not saying that they're not promiscuous. What I'm saying is they've always been promiscuous. They've always been doing their thing. It's just that they were thought of as such angels that it was never looked into. Their past is never hadn't been looked into. Nowadays, it's just not safe to not be that way. You just can't be that way anymore because you got to know what you're dealing with because of the health reasons. You got to know. You got to kind of at least inquire what's going on before you could just assume, oh, this girl, everything's cool, but it's not like that anymore. But I agree with you. They've always been the way they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to say, I got all these bodies. And no woman, there ain't none of them saying that. Are they doing that? I haven't really been checking.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
I mean, but I don't know women like, yeah, I've been with him. I don't.
They're never going to say that. Like you said, they're never going to say that, man. Women are much too, they smarter than that.
Intelligent. Yeah. Now, I will say this. Even some of the older ones in 30s and 40s, hell 50s, hell 60s. Let me keep going. It does seem like I've heard women say it. Men are a headache. I'd rather be by myself. I'm like, huh? I mean, have men become that bad to where? No. What I'm really reading is, you know what? I want him for this. I want him for that. I want him for the other. Now, are they sleeping with all of them? You ask me, no. Out of the 3 or 4, they sleeping with 2. They're not sleeping with all 4. But they got 4 different men doing 4 different things.
Okay. That sounds about right.
The other 2 that ain't getting pleasure, waiting for their turn. Now, and they may get a turn.
Circling the wagons,
uh-huh. Yeah. So if that's what you mean by all these bodies, but, that may be true. But
no, brother.
She doesn't put it out there like that.
I don't mean. I'm gonna tell you. I'll explain exactly what I mean with all these bodies. I mean the freedom of thought to say, see, like we said. Okay, like you were saying at first when you made a good point that the average guy does not want a woman with a high body count. Why? Why not? What's the difference? I mean, guys have high body counts all the time. What's the difference between a woman having a high body count? Well, like you said, the woman is not put together to be having a high body count. Women are not put together like that. They're really simply just not made that way. They're not made to have all these different penises come in contact with all these different penises. They just not. And so when they start coming in contact with a lot of different penises, you will see them break down a lot worse. They will break down a lot better, either mentally, emotionally, or physically, or all 3, or a combination of such. you'll see that more because they will have some type of something wrong. You'll see them and you'll say, man, this woman is an attractive woman. How can she be alone? Why is this person by themselves? They shouldn't be by themselves. And then they start talking, and then you say, I got it. Now I see what's happening here. This person is, out of their mind. I got it. And so now you know why stuff is happening. It explains a lot about this person. But so what I mean is they feel like they got the freedom to have as much sex as a man. That's what I mean when I say having all these bodies. And they don't feel like down at the end of the road when they feel like that it's okay for them to do that because there'll be a sucker standing there right when the carousel, when the music stops and they have to step off. There'll be a sucker right there with roses and candy waiting for them with the door open to the car, with the Range Rover. Get in. Right there. You and your children. Come on and get in. And Russell Wilson them away. Or Kanye West them away. And I'm saying that how do we get that into their heads if that's not happening? Well, first of all, that's not happening. And second of all, it's the concept of that for men is going away. So the first thing I think, because for some reason they feel like, yeah, we can do the same thing. You probably physically can do it, but it's not going to turn out well for you for doing that because men don't want a woman with a high body count, just like men don't want women that have a masculine framework, that operate in a masculine framework. We don't want that. So you can do it, though. You can operate in a masculine framework, like you were talking about Waka Flocka's mom, right? Yeah, you can operate like that if you want to. Ain't gonna be too many knocks on the door, though, right? So it's what you want. You want fun now and none later, or you want some now and some later, or you want to learn now and have it greater later. Which one do you want? And I'm trying to identify for them, why don't men want high body counts? Why? What is it that men don't like about that? Is it?
It's not that you don't like it. You're not gonna marry her. You're not gonna get in a relationship.
That's what I mean, brother. I mean,
you have sex with her.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna marry her.
But I'm saying, women get to it. See, women ain't like men. Men could be like, I would just keep having sex and sex and sex and sex and sex and sex and sex. But women ain't like that. Women have a clock, and that clock starts ticking about 28 or 27 to 28. The clock starts ticking, right? The countdown starts, and then they like, okay, I got to do something because the wheels start falling off. You ain't waking up with that cute face as much anymore. You got a little line here, a little line there. You know what I mean? Little bag here, little bag there. Stuff starts happening. And so they like, hey, I'm at the best I'm gonna be looks wise, and this is what I've always used to negotiate a relationship. I need to find somebody who I can take this and negotiate with it. Right? But men are not being that guy when the carousel ends, standing there with the door open. They're not being that guy anymore. The women are stepping off the carousel saying, where is everybody? I thought somebody was going to be waiting for me here when I got here. But why? Because men recognize when you on the carousel that they don't want somebody that's, has season tickets on the carousel. They just don't want that. Meaning, and let me translate that into, they got body count that's high where they're always practicing their religion of having lots of sex. Nobody wants that. A retired, I don't want to say hoe, but I want, just somebody who's spent a lot of time on a carousel, and now they go, whew, that's it. I think I've, you know what I mean? I've done everything I could possibly do, and at least twice. Now what I want to do is I want to have a solid relationship with one man. It should be a sucker around here somewhere that wants a used vagina with 100,000 miles on it. It should be a sucker somewhere. But men are waking up and they're not there. So
that can go both ways. I mean, I know some sisters, and maybe they're just the exception, you know. I don't want to say I've asked them to settle, but I'm like, what's wrong with him? You know, he's all right. Nah, I like, wait a minute, you find fault in every one of them?
Why?
After a while, like, it ain't them, it's you.
Well, yeah,
you mean you can't?
Why are they finding fault?
When you say why, because and now this is a couple women are in their 40s, you still got options. And I know a couple of them in their 30s, you got a little more options. Well, so it's still like, it's not like when you say, I'm getting up here, so ain't nobody there. Cats are there. Now, are they marrying?
No, that's what I'm saying, brother. We ain't counting the cats. We ain't counting cats that's going to plow them, because it's going to be cats that's going to plow them until they get in the ground. So we ain't counting cats that's going to plow through them. You know what I mean? We talking about cats that's going to take them and say, hey, I want to build something with you. That's what we talking about, because that's all that matters.
I know a couple of sisters turning marriages down. Well, that got to be an exception.
But I know
sisters turned down a millionaire, and I'm like, what? But actually,
no,
I don't even want to go into that. I still can't. The man was a millionaire.
The reason why they're turning them down, brother, is because they feel like they can do better. They feel like something better may come up later. That's why they're turning them down. If they thought, man, this is the best. If you thought that $1 million offer was the best offer you was gonna get, are you familiar with a company called Facebook?
Yeah.
The Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, Microsoft offered this cat $1 million in the beginning. They said, yeah, we offer you $1 million. He was like, $1 million? No. And why didn't he take the $1 million? Because he knew it was worth billions. He could see that it was worth billions. If he just kept and improved it, he would be worth billions later. And he was right. In that situation, he was right, because that's something, Facebook was a situation where he could improve it. He could work on it, improve it, and maximize the value and keep pushing the value up. But a female at 40 years old, there's not too much you can do to push the value higher. There's not. What can you do to really push the value higher? You probably got children. You saying, we talking about black woman? Black woman 40 years old very rarely does not have children.
Right. Oh, they're grown.
Even if they.
But then again, the time is so crazy, man. Remember when Homeboy for the Clippers, the side piece, come talking about she want to go to court and sue him for money she's owed, and that's when I started promoting, man, the side piece got rights now.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like we don't live in a crazy time. It's a crazy time.
In California, they do. It's not everywhere.
It's a woman's state. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in California. Situation is very ugly. If you want to just date someone, you want to just date people, and when it's over, just walk away. It's very ugly for men, at least. Women, they got it made in the shade. Woman got it made in the shade. Women have it so good. If she's a single mother and she can prove that you've paid her rent or paid any of her bills, she can go to court and say, I know we're not together, but this man, I was able to send my child to school. He made it easier on my child, and so therefore I need him to continue to keep paying my rent and continue to pay whatever it is, and they can make you pay it. There's dudes out there paying right now for children that is not theirs. They're paying they're paying child support, definitely, but also paying this palimony money where you don't even have a child with this lady at all, but because she got a receipt or something from you paying her rent, she can say you've been paying her rent. And now you got to continue to pay her rent for 2 or 3 years or 4, whatever they say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dangerous game out here, man. It's a whole nother game. And then women are wondering why nobody wants to get married no more. For what?
It's God ordained marriage, and I believe in marriage. But even I would tell a young man, don't get married. And I believe my parents were married over 60 years. They both gone. God rest their soul. They both gone.
Yeah.
My parents were married over 60 years.
But I would
who
say,
does that anymore? I mean, who can get past 4 or 5 years?
It's very it's not wise to get married before the age of 40. To me, if you do, you're taking a high risk. Because you don't really know you don't have any clue of what you got to lose, and then you're not tough enough to tell somebody, hey, this is how we have to do it. If we're going to do this, this is how we have to do it, and tell them how you want it structured so that in case it don't go right, you can be protected. That takes balls, and you don't get balls like that till you in your 40s when you with a woman. So I'm saying that you getting married before the age of 40 is really foolish. You're taking a huge chance, and like they say, you got a 25% chance of making it past 7 years, which is crazy. It's actually pretty crazy.
I say go ahead and have babies. You want to have babies? Have babies. Pay the child support. Well, you're married.
You want to have what?
You're gonna have sex. Go ahead and have the babies. You're gonna have sex. Just get in your mind. Go ahead and have the babies, but don't get married. I mean, cause that's one of the reasons why Shaq ran or left Orlando.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Okay. All right. Never mind. All right. So yeah, man, that's why Shaq left Orlando, because what now?
A reporter reported that he had a illegitimate child out of wedlock.
Okay.
When he reported that, Shaq said, "I'm out of here."
Okay. Was it true or not, or what?
Yeah, it was true.
Oh, okay.
He went to the Lakers. He said, "I'm out of here."
Okay.
It was true.
Okay.
But he could afford to take care of the child, and it's like, why do y'all trip off of that? He could afford to say, okay, he did it. I mean, I didn't want to know about it. That kills me too. Everybody wants to know. I don't want to know that Shaq had an illegitimate quote unquote child. I don't want to know that. But he can take care of the child, so why are you worried about it? I think Shaq and that woman and his wife.
But see,
he took care of the baby. The baby never went without. So what are you saying?
Yeah, but at that time, it was a different time. Nowadays, it's safer. I still say don't even be having illegitimate children. Don't do it.
Children. Had the children, because I mean, but see, there's something. This is a whole different subject. There's something. God is always doing something behind the scenes, and God really doesn't care about how we see things. And meaning that
brother, hold on. Let me hit you right back. Hold on 1 second. All right, brother. So you saying now, you saying have the children? You say I'm saying wait, because I'm definitely saying wait until you're at least 40. See, man, I think as a young man, you should get your life together first before you even thinking about having children. I try to follow it the way God do it. God sets up the situation, makes it livable, then brings the people in, as opposed to bringing the people in, then trying to set up a situation, then trying to have. I think most of the time we as black people, we do it backwards. Now, what you say about that?
As far as children, I still say have the children because there's a you don't have sexual urges, the male and the female, when you're young for no reason. And if you ask me, the best time to have children with a female too is when she's young. As you get older,
Agreed.
you know, your tolerance goes down. So to sit up and wait till your 30s and 40s, now you can only have one. You know, because your tolerance level then went down all the way. You know, but you know, the problem we have as a community, we pick bad mates. You know, and what we consider strength.
Yeah.
Or what we consider, you know, a good mate.
Yeah.
Isn't that at all? You know, because who you are in your 20s, that's not who you're going to be in your 40s. You know, and who you think that, you know, is a good mate in your 20s definitely won't be a good mate in your 40s. You know, we just have a real problem. You know, that's why, you know, women can, I guess going back to the song, can sing that. You know, there's some HOEs in this house, and you can refer to yourself as an HOE because that's looked upon as a thing of strength. You know, the BITCH, you know, that's looked upon as strength.
Aye.
You know, because, but in reality, we really have not mastered the English language, you know, because we really knew how to use words. You know, it's baby language, meaning that, you know, it's a very easy word to learn, and, you know, it's not a very complicated thing to be if you want to be an HOE or a BITCH.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that's not really hard. So you wouldn't take no pride in that or consider yourself that if you knew or mastered the English language. If you knew that, you would consider yourself that. But like I said, you know, with us, you know, I mean, there's so many things, you know, like I said, you know, and there's never going to be an ideal situation to where, you know what, I can make money, you make money, we can get together, and now we can get married. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's going to be some struggle somewhere, even when y'all get together. If both of y'all making money, the moment y'all get together, here comes some struggle somewhere, somehow, something's going to happen. Why? Because that's how life is, or that's how God is. I mean, that's how it's going to go. So, you know, I still say, have the children. Have the children, you know, because, you know, in our community, you know, what we think, I'll just put it like this. They call Jesus a bastard child.
Right.
And I'll just leave it at that. They called him that.
Yeah.
There are extreme circumstances on how and why he was born.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, the marriage part, hold off because, like I said, you know, and I believe in marriage, but hold off on that because it just ain't always good, especially in certain states. Like you said, you know, you got states to where alimony. I got to pay you because I was helping you because we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and even when I leave, I still got to give you money.
Right.
There's something wrong with that. Why am I saying that California is a woman's state? It's that kind of state. Right. Certain states is a woman's state. You know, and you just can't afford. I mean, they've made divorce profitable.
Right.
You know, you've made it to where, you know, women go to court. When I got divorced, my ex didn't have no lawyer. Didn't need one.
Right.
She didn't even need one.
Right.
Everything was already on her side. She didn't need no lawyer. Yeah. What? She can go in there and just cry.
Yeah.
You know, and judge go for it. You know, how dare he not go for that?
The big bad man. Yeah.
You know, I mean, how dare, you know, it don't matter if she right or wrong. That don't matter. Just give the show.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, if a woman just called 911, don't matter if there are any marks or not, because the rule that I've learned, even when someone calls 911, the rule is if there are no marks, legally, from what I understand, now they can't do it. They're not supposed to take you in. You know, there are no marks. I didn't touch her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to just go my way. You know, now if you resist arrest or you start acting a fool, then yeah, they got to arrest you because you're acting a fool. But normally, you know, it depends on what happened and how it happened. When there ain't no marks, yeah, man, even if she crying, but all she got to do is call and cry hard, and they arrest the man because they feel like they have to.
Yeah.
You know, they feel like they have to do it. Because if they don't, then she wind up dead, and it's like, oh, see, You could have stopped it. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not. Who's the soothsayer? Who? I'm not a fortune teller. I didn't know this man was gonna kill her. There's no mark, so I can't arrest this man.
Yeah, but it's somebody's fault. It's somebody's fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Fault.
we this is what we did. This is where we part ways here. On, I feel like, hey, you should not have no babies until you are physically, emotionally, financially ready for that situation. Because I feel like, you know what, the one thing that destroys young children, especially in the black community, because there's so much of it. And you know what destroys black children, brother? More than anything, outside of poverty, the one thing that destroys black children is conflict. Conflict destroys them, because what happens is, you as the man say, this is how this ship is going to sail. And everybody will be in line if the woman is in line. If she in line, everybody in line, down to the last man.
Yeah.
But if she bucking you and they see her bucking you, they're going to say, she is right-hand man and she ain't even with the program.
Right.
Why should I be with the program?
Right.
Then they start bucking themselves. Now she, as a woman, don't even see this. She does have no clue that that's going on, and that she's actually influencing that to happen.
Yeah.
Then here's the major situation that happens that really tears their brains apart. When you and your spouse or your significant other have an argument in front of them or within earshot of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's a conflict there, right? So if these are normal children, they say, okay, both of these people cannot be right. They both can't be right. One of them has to be wrong.
Right.
Which one is the wrong one?
Right.
But see, there's a dichotomy there. Okay, but I love both of these people.
Right.
Which one is the one I got to throw away? I can't bear to throw either of them. I can't bear to throw one away and keep the other. I got to throw both of them away. Because now I don't want to. I know one of them is not right, and I don't want to know which one is not the right one.
Right.
I don't want to know, because I can't bear to handle that, and keep on going. And I'm gonna treat the one different. I know I am. That's why I got to just treat them both different. And in their crazy head, they feel like I'm still showing love because I'm just gonna throw away. But so now when you tell them don't do drugs, they go, what? Psh. Yeah, okay. Don't do this, don't do that. And so they don't follow nobody. You can't tell them nothing. Why? Because they've seen too much strife, and they had to come to that conclusion in their head. Hey, I can't listen to either one of these people because I don't know which one of them is not the right one. So therefore, I got to follow my own instincts. Some kind of way they done found a way to pay all these bills and wash my clothes and cook my food, but I don't have no way of telling when they're wrong. So I just got to listen to myself, and what child knows what to do? That's the problem. So that's why I say you ain't in it when you young like that, so you don't understand. See, our parents at least, they understood, hey, I may not like this man. I may not like the way the man come at me, but for the children, they got to know who's the boss around here. I gotta follow. I gotta toe the line, and then I holler at him later. But I gotta toe the line for the children. This generation don't think like that. This generation don't think like that, man. They think like, hey, I gotta do me. I gotta do me, even at the detriment of the child. I was watching a thing in Texas, brother. I was watching a thing in Texas. I remember a certain minister told us, man, that there was going to be it was going to be places that never froze, going to be freezing. I was watching Dallas, Texas, covered in snow, brother. Covered in snow. Right? And I don't know if you saw that, but with the water, it was so cold. Well, you from Ohio, so you know. It was just so cold, the pipes busted. Okay? And you from back east. You know about, people know about keeping the pipes running and all of that so the pipes don't bust, right?
Yeah, the heat. You can't turn the heat on.
Yeah. Dallas, Texas, they don't know about keeping pipes from busting. They don't know about that. It don't snow in Dallas, Texas. Snowed in Dallas, Texas, brother. I think it was like 2 or 3 feet of snow.
Sure.
In that snow, brother, sadly, unfortunately, 60 people lost their lives in that. But one of them was a young boy. And you know what a lot of them were losing? A lot of them were dying from? Besides the ones that had to go to dialysis and stuff like that, and just wasn't no power, nothing, you couldn't do nothing. The ones that was dying was the ones that was trying to sleep. They was dying from carbon monoxide because it was so cold in their houses that they were sleeping in their cars with the cars running. And all they had to do, brother, was crack the window, and they didn't even crack the window because it was so cold.
Right.
This little boy, because they didn't have no heat or no car, he was in the house, froze to death, brother. Froze to death.
Right.
But I'm saying that to say, when you have people that don't know what they're doing, bruh, sometimes, man, it's better for them to just wait until they can get a better. Now that's my position is, let's wait until you get a better understanding of what's actually going on. I believe you should. If you can see, if it was back 100 years ago, yeah, and you 20 years old, yeah, you supposed to be getting married at 20 years old. You're supposed to be having a bunch of babies at 20 years old. Yeah, cool. But we're not in that time right now, bruh. We're in a time where children are forsaken, man. Children are they're little volleyball, or they little pawns, like you were talking about chess the other time. They're little pawns, and the woman used them just to get money and housing, right? And it's sad, but they do. And just like I was watching this thing about comedian Earthquake, and he said how, when you get, and you know about this, when they give you a dollar amount of your what's it called, that child support, you have a total dollar amount, right? You're supposed to pay on it, right? So the man said, hey, I have shows. I don't know when I'm going to get paid. I don't know what's going to happen. So, I just had the opportunity to pay it off. So I paid it off a year too early. You know what? His ex-wife said, he made us homeless for doing that. He made us homeless. How I make you homeless? I gave you every dollar you supposed to get. This is what you supposed to get. And because you didn't manage it, I made you homeless. But this is what I'm saying. Her son was just a way to exist. Now she got to find a way to exist because that money ain't coming in no more. This is my point. How we gonna get around that? We gotta, in my opinion, and this is just because I feel like, we in the black community, we got so many different situations that we got to deal with. Well, one of the situations is how do we get good young black people together so that they can start good families, so that we can actually do some of the stuff that we're supposed to do, right? We ain't supposed to just be here. We're supposed to be improving this situation, right? Okay, how are we going to do that when none of the men are with none of the women and all of the women have babies and nobody wants to date none of the single mothers? So what are we, how are we going to work?
That's a question. I mean,
that's a question. That's a question. How are we going to do this work?
Goes back to the beginning. I mean, you're asking an impossible question. I mean, the black man and the black woman didn't set it up like this. I mean, you got a whole world. I ain't even say society. You got a whole world that pushed and promoted this. The whole world pushed and promoted the black men and women to be at odds with each other.
I give you that. Okay.
You know, so you say, well, what are we gonna do? One, you have to recognize, well, who did this to us? To me. Wait a minute, somebody did this. Because something's wrong here. You know, I mean, why are you fighting me? If I'm a man and you're a woman, but you're at odds with me, and any little thing I do is wrong, you know, I mean, you got to get her to realize, wait a minute, it's not me. You're fighting me. That's like the Donald Trump, quote unquote, supporters really believe that it's the black man's fault. The reason why we're in this condition. No, fool. Look, it's the rich against the poor. It's the have against the have-not. He got you, meaning the rich, looking at me. You blaming me for your situation. It's not my fault. Yeah. He did this to you, not me.
Yeah.
You know, stop looking at me. So we have to get her to look at it, and then us too, meaning the man. You got to get us to look at, look, man, the reason why she's like that, because she was told that. I mean, you weren't there. I mean, the man is at fault too. When she was getting raped, when she was getting killed, where was you at? You supposed to be the protector. Where was you at? What happened to you?
Yeah, what happened to you?
You know, she looking at you like, well, I can't depend on you.
Right.
So I got to do what I got to do.
Right.
And when it's like that, she's not wrong for thinking like that. So you have to, meaning the black man, you got to like, okay, you know what? I gotta, she's not gonna give me the reins. I gotta take her. You know, and there's a lot. There's no one, there's a lot to go along with that. I mean, meaning that, you know, it's a documentary out. It's called Hip Hop, Uncovered. It's really, 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 really a good study.
Yeah, you were telling me.
And if you ever look at it and study it, they're rounding up or they're hoarding every alpha black male, every black man with some juice, some power. And I heard a minister say this, Minister Farrakhan to be exact, say that, you know, they are looking for that little black boy with those leadership qualities. They're looking for him to kill him. They're looking to kill him. You know, so to answer to this, it's way bigger. You got a whole world, not even a society.
I understand.
It's bigger than America.
I understand.
So you keep asking me, well, how do we get her out of that?
I'm talking about us.
Me too.
What can we do?
Okay. So
what can we do on the ground with our boots
First
on the
thing
ground?
you got to recognize who did this. Once you recognize that, all right, you did this to us. Damn, if you did this to us, I'm listening to you. See, that got to get you, or to snap at least one of us, the man or the female, or both of us, snap us out. The reason why she's singing, there's some holes in this house, is because that's what the A&R told her to do. Look, we got to get a video off of this. So I'm going to set you up with this video. You go ahead and do it. Okay, we're going to pay you $100,000. What did she heard? It was $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she heard, $100,000. Okay, I mean, I'm getting paid, right? Right. No responsibility. But once you recognize, wait a minute, I can't do this. I can't do this. That's like, it wasn't Waka Flocka. I forgot who it was. Petey Pablo. He said he went to the A&R one time and said, man, I can't keep making these gangster or these killing songs, man. I gotta go to church with my grandmother. You know, they listening to this.
Right.
It's got to be like that. Man, look, I go to church with my grandmother, man. I can't just make all these songs like this.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm the artist. So when you say, what can we do with our boots down? We got to stand up, wake up, and do right.
We who?
You know, but that takes time. The black folks. I mean, you in it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
say, you know,
yeah,
why
yeah.
they singing this? Why you go, there's some holy, why are you doing that? Because she getting paid. That's why she doing it. She getting paid.
Yeah, I get it, but what I mean, but how can we reverse that notion that just because you
Just told
get
you.
money, don't mean that, you know, it's all good. Just
Yeah,
because
well,
you get
hell,
the money.
we broke as hell, man. Kind of hard to listen to somebody when you broke.
Yeah, that's true.
Real hard to listen to somebody when you broke, man.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that's true.
I mean, I guess sometimes we got to go to the street. People don't want to hear this. Sometimes we got to go to the, I don't want to say street conscious, but street rules. You know, when a brother get out of jail, what they say do? Put some money in his pocket.
Yeah,
I understand. Even in your madness, I've heard a minister say, in your madness, you have righteousness. And
yeah,
you crazy as hell. I mean, in black. So even in your madness, you have righteousness. That's like a child molester going to jail. Oh, we killed him.
right.
We killed him. He can't come among us.
Okay,
We killed him. You ain't got no business here. He's dead.
okay,
In your madness, you got rules.
yeah,
So, it's got to come down to things like that. What can we do? Wake up. But that ain't going to happen overnight. Wake up.
Well, we specifically, who we, men or women or what?
Both. But it's really on the man.
Yeah, man, because I don't feel like the women are gonna be. As long as women are getting money, as long as one woman can get money to do this, a lot of them will feel like, hey, I could do the same thing. Let
But
me
the man doing the
apply
same thing
this.
too.
Let me apply this in. Yeah, but we doing it to each other. We doing it to each other, cleaning each other's clocks. You know what I'm saying?
He's always used sex as a weapon. That ain't new.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's just like it's like gangbanging. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know how to fight, but you fighting with your brother, so you're not really getting nowhere. You know what I mean? You fighting your brother over nonsense,
Right.
to keep somebody else safe. That's what you're really doing. You're really fighting to keep somebody else safe, and you're like that buffer. You know, it's like the master on the plantation. You know, I got the field niggas mad at the house niggas, and the house niggas mad at the field niggas. As long as I got that strife between them two, ain't none of them gonna never they can't get together and do nothing to me, because I'm keeping that strife between them two going. They so busy.
Not realizing. Yeah. But I'm not to interrupt you, but not realizing, you know what? It's 20 of us. There's only one of him and his wife.
Yeah.
It's 20 of us.
Yeah.
It's one of him.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Yeah.
And when somebody come on the plantation, he just left. He'll be back later on the night. Oh, okay. Bury him.
Yeah.
Nobody will know.
Yeah.
The wife, kill the children too. Kill them all.
Yeah.
Cut them up and bury them.
Yeah.
But see, even to think like that. See, a lot of us, you don't even want to think like that.
No. I
Not even
remember,
knowing you at war.
I remember I watched. I don't know if you saw this episode of Roots, but the episode of Roots where Nat Turner had killed a bunch of he had killed a bunch of white people, and the white lady, the master had left. He went out on a trip, and when he got back, it was like 5 or 6 slaves shot because the white lady wouldn't let none of them come up to the house. She wouldn't let them come. She shot them as soon as they come close into the yard, man. She would just pow, blew them away. She's like, you ain't coming up here. She killed them, man. The dude was like, what are you doing? You hurt, these are my best people. What you doing?
Yeah.
She was like, hey, man, I heard about that situation. And, and she was like, shoot. I know they was trying to come get me, and they was like, man, we were just trying to deliver this or that, and what they told him, man. He was just like, okay, all right, and he just walked in the house like, oh, nothing, But my point is that they have their fear, and they're gonna always try to protect themselves. But we, because of the strife between us, we can't, like you were saying, we can't communicate with each other and sit down and say, okay, this is the plan of action we should take. Like Malcolm was talking about the mile mile, where the mile mile, it's like, I don't know what you're talking about, boss. I never heard of no mile mile. And, you know what I mean? That's the same dude taking off that dude's head just later on that night, right? You know what I mean? But because they know how to communicate with each other, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, same thing like the white people that was here first, that came here from England. You know what I'm saying? So they said, once they got here and they said, you know what? I'm not paying no taxes to England. We got this here. We're the ones fighting for this. We the ones fighting and dying over here. They ain't doing nothing. I'm not paying nothing for them. Matter of fact, we need to be in our own country. This is our land.
Right.
Forget that. And when they came over, they was having killing parties, killing the British. So I'm just saying they're willing to communicate however they got to move. We not doing that because we're being pitted against each other, like you were saying, so that we can always have this strife, so that there's a comfort level. And they've been doing this since we've been here. They have this comfort level with us warring with each other. If they can have us warring with each other, then their comfort is they can sit back in comfort and say, okay, this is the reason why you got so many problems, because you guys have internal problems with each other. But we really don't have no problems with each other. I ain't got no power. You ain't got no power. I ain't got no money. You ain't got no money. I ain't got no water. You ain't got no water. I don't have the department store. You ain't got the department store. I ain't got the food. You ain't got the food. What? How come we got problems?
Right. What are we fighting?
What are we fighting for? What we going? We fighting over abstract, stupid stuff.
Right.
It's nothing. It's nothing. Or inconsequential. Jordans. You stepped on my Jordans. Or you looked at my girl. Or something stupid. Where we feel like I gotta show everybody, I'm the man and I gotta do all of this. Flexing.
Right.
Well, here's the part, brother, where you just told me what you think we ought to do, and this is the part where we try to find some solutions to the problem. And so I feel like a solution to the problem is we gotta go at the men hard. We have to really go at the men hard. If we don't go at the men really hard, then unfortunately, that is, I believe, once the men change, the women will change, and they won't have no choice but to change. Like right now, what men are doing now is trying to defend themselves from the Me Too type of situation, from the women's movement situation. They're just trying to defend themselves. They're just trying to maneuver to be in a safe place to try and date women without having to be subject to all these different all the different fallouts that could happen from just dating a woman. And, women don't understand how complex this situation is for men. They feel like you should just be an ant and fall in. And whatever happened to you, happened to you. But you should, you know what I'm saying? You should just date. No, I mean, men are trying to protect themselves, man. Who wants to throw their whole life away behind some woman? You know what I mean? So, but we as black people, man, we got to get the men on track, man. We get the men on track. I think the women will have no option but to follow suit, or they're going to have to either go with dating outside of. They're going to have to put a high volume on dating outside of the black race, and or lesbianism. Going to have to double, triple, quadruple, because those are going to be the only. Those are going to be the only relationships.
There's no progress in lesbianism or homosexuality. There's no growth. There's no growth in that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if they want to have some type of physical contact, or they want to have some type of relationship with someone, they're going to have to go that way, because if they won't follow, if we get the men on track and they won't follow that lead, then where else are they going to go? Who else is going to be there to deal with them?
Yeah.
I mean, the Asian won't touch them. The white man might give them a little. Maybe some white men that'll have a little bit of them. And same thing with the Latino brother. Maybe a few of them will have them, but by and large, they're not going to have a whole lot of. Not going to have a whole lot of
Right.
people that's going to be dealing with them. It's going to be us. They stuck with us, and so
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the bottom line of that. So eventually they're gonna have to, step into the AM with that, and but we got to get but later for them, we got to get the brotherhood on track, and the brotherhood's got to be reminded and put back on the path of righteousness and the path of success and God's path, man. The brotherhood's got to be put on that path. And so
you really don't have a choice, because you have nowhere else, meaning black men, you have nowhere else to turn.
Nah.
You are literally hunted.
Yeah.
You have nobody but God to turn to. And if you don't, you either turn to God or die.
Yeah. It's basically what's going to happen. And that's the only solution I can see, that's going to, really making a serious impact, is us just turning towards God and trying to, reacquaint ourselves with what his vision for us is, and how we can go for it in this day and age, and apply that knowledge in with the modern techniques that we got today, and hopefully get our women back on track too.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that, and I didn't want to come like it's all on brothers, because it ain't. It's on her too. Like I said, she crazy, but I just don't want to put it all on her, because it's like it's on you. I mean, because sometimes as a man, you got to stand up and say, "Look, I'm going this way." She'll say, well, "I ain't going that way. I'm going." You go by yourself then. I told you which way we're going.
Yeah.
And today's black woman will literally go that way by herself.
Yeah.
That's the part I don't like. At least let me F up first. Let me F up, and then you can tell me, you know what? You F'd up. And so next time I don't want you listening to me, because that's what she's there for, to help you. If she make more sense than you, why wouldn't you listen to her?
Yeah.
But just don't, me and the kids, we gone. You gonna take the kids with you.
Yeah.
So I got nothing. I can't build nothing. I got nothing, because you took the family with you and you got no protection.
Yeah.
So if you took the kids with you, you got no protection. Yeah. You got nothing.
Yeah.
So without me, you ain't nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I've heard a minister say, whatever you conquer, after a while, someone will come along to take it from you.
Of course.
If you don't know how to protect it.
Of course.
And you out there with children by yourself in the wilderness, thinking that you all right. You can't protect yourself. You need me.
Of course.
But I heard him say, a man is a headache.
Yeah.
You stupid? Are you really that stupid?
But they don't.
You don't know how to make him. You don't know how to make him do what you need him to do.
No, they don't, brother. That's like what I'm saying back in the beginning of this whole conversation. There is no teachings out there. Well, not no teaching, but there aren't teachings out there that's on a regular basis or on a nationwide scale to teach these women how to be women. Therefore, they don't know. Like I was talking before about, they don't even see the reason why a man would look at them with a high body count and say, "I'm not interested in that. I know you're a very beautiful woman, but because of the poundage or the usage on your body, I'm not interested in somebody that got that kind of usage on their body. I'd rather be with somebody who had a lot less usage, a lot less yardage, a lot less mileage on the vagina than what you got here. Even though you're a nice person and all of that, I'd rather be with, and that's what I don't think these young girls are seeing. Anyway, that's this. We're gonna wrap this one up, man. Any parting words, Brother Jarvis?
Oh, sir, like I said, that's about it. These are very complicated questions, and there is no one. I mean, it's on her, and it's on me. Like I said, I know she crazy. We crazy too. But like I said, I do want to say, you use sex as a weapon, meaning the black woman. You use sex as a weapon every day, and you don't know how to get him in line?
No, they don't, man. Nobody is teaching that lesson. They're teaching the lesson of how to use sex to get material items. They're not teaching how to use sex, because you're supposed to use sex, but you're supposed to negotiate with a relationship whereby the man is going to get the sex that he needs, and you're going to get the protection that you need. That's what you're supposed to do. But you don't even know. You don't even know that. Maybe we can make it. Even if you don't believe it. No. You praying all the time like, I pray to God. This man don't know what he's doing. But I'm gonna tell him, baby, you could do it. I can. And he don't know. But that ain't being taught, brother. He know you lying to him. He know it. But okay, he know we want to be lying. He know you lying. But but like I said, man, nobody's teaching those lessons. Not nobody, but those lessons are not being taught at the maximum scale where it would be effective enough where you would see a difference in the way the average woman moved and maneuvered through relationships with black men. It's not at a high enough level. Like they say, herd immunity. It's not enough herd immunity where enough people in the herd have heard this message and said, I'm going to try it and see if it worked for myself. It's just not enough people have done it. So therefore they're just walking around like, hey, men are meant to be shot down out the sky. That's it. That's it. I believe, you know what I mean? With a few exceptions, men are just meant to be shot down out of the sky. And, who cares? It's like when they go and see, it's all good. You married, you got a wife and children and everything, and then something, little young tenderoni, hit you up and everything, and then you start something with a little tenderoni, like old boy over in Australia, that pastor that was pastor to all of these rich people and everything, and he started that little thing with that chick, and so you think, oh man, we got a bond, even if this thing go bad, we together. That's my girl right here, man. All these people got to do is say, here's 150 G's. We need you to come on here and Good Morning America, tell your story. F that, yeah, that's your girl. F that. They're going to give me 150 G's just to be on TV. Then they're going to give me another 20 G's to be in People magazine and another 30 to be in Us. And man, I can buy my own house and my own car. Yeah. Man. Just to tell the truth. Just to tell the truth. Or to be loyal to you and be hungry. But there's an old saying, man, you always, whenever you get involved in something shady, you got to think about not the getting into it, but how you going to get out of it. That's where you need to be thinking, man. What happens if this thing go bad? That's why I always tell you, here's a bonus. This is bonus information from Brother Clarence and Brother Jarvis. This is bonus information. Never ever stay off the company pier. Stay off the company pier. Don't fish off the company pier, meaning don't try to search for relationships while you're working. Once that clock strikes 5, now you can talk to the woman. Now you can approach them. Now you can call them. Now you can do. But while that clock is ticking, no. Because then they will say you was doing this on the job, and then you can be disciplined for that. Don't do that. That's my opinion. Anyway, I'm sorry, brother. I interrupted you. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm finished.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'm finished with this situation too, and I just wanted to have a discussion about how how females can how the females can be influenced to doing things that are not at their best interest, and not understand that men will look at it a certain way, even though you as a woman might look at it as, I have strength because I can, I'm this sexually free, but men look at it like you sexually free with everybody. So they may not look at it the way you looking at it. And when the carousel slows down and it gets to, the music gets to skipping and slowing down and it stops, you may find that there is no man with no six, there is no 6'1" man. He don't have no six pack, and he don't have no 6-figure income, and he definitely don't have the door open for no Range Rover waiting on you to just carry you away from you and your children carry away from the carousel. If you want, you got to get off the carousel way early and turn yourself into an asset to a man and not a liability. And maybe we'll go over that at another time. All right, until then, never be the aggressor, and peace to you all.